Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue unpacking some lookalikes. And today's lookalike really looks like yesterday's. If you were here yesterday we just have the whole thing except the bottom two dots over there. And that meant straight. Now with two dots underneath, what do you think it could mean? It's very abstract to think that way, right? In fact, this one means real, pronounced as zhēn. And you can see, compare with yesterday's, a little bit was changed. So first off, the top, instead of one beam of, light shooting from your eyeball, which means your eyesight, unblocked, unfiltered, straight line, viewing something directly, that gives you the sense of straightness. Here, it's separated. It's something look like this. And that's a Chinese symbol, symbolized change. The reason why it symbolizes change, okay, think about the concept of change. It's a human construct of things. Two status, at least, two status of being compared from before and after, with something happening in between, right? And theoretically, everything changed in between. Everything, everybody, right? And Chinese, to describe this very abstract human concept, and this change have to compare with things, right? Before and after, so it involves time, involves this four-dimensional concept that our 3D physical world plus time, right? This state A versus state B. Now, Chinese very intelligently express that by the, a flipping of human figure. Humans, as the language is made for humans, by humans, of, about humans. And so human concept is the most commonly seen. And it was originally looked like this. And Chinese is a leftward facing world view. So in the whole Chinese character building, this world building, there's orientation of leftward facing. And leftward means the front side of a body, this profile view of human figure, face toward the left because you turn toward the left and you're supposed to move forward toward the left. Left is the way to go, okay? Default direction. And then this wrapping around longer line depict the back chain of your torso, back torso. Now, compare with this, you can see this person almost like a lie on the ground, right? Facing up. And this front side of the body is upward facing versus the back chain is at the bottom. So that's a human figure flipped over and turned like that. Two-step of operations. Mirror image flipping and a turning 90 degree upward. And that signifies change. So without, it's hard to express the concept of change, this over time thing. And by just comparing this new orientation of the same structure as a human figure, which every Chinese language users were very familiar with, and then you get the idea of that structurally look the same thing, but oriented different. So that gives you the sense of something changed in the middle. So that's how Chinese, a 2D frame world depicting the 4D world. Okay, the change on the top. And then we have the eyeballs, vertical lines in the middle. You can see that's kind of an essential thing because what's real? How to judge it's real or not? It's by your eyeballs, looking at things, right? And then this bottom left corner, ground truth, we still have that. So this observing ground truth over time, that's longitudinal observation, right? Many data points collected by this eyeball. And then what's this two dangly things at the bottom? According to scholars, that's our feet or legs. And legs or walking symbolize practicing. So we not only see things, we do accordingly. Meaning Chinese, in this word, teach you to maintain your integrity of practice what you say or practice what you see. So doing these two legs, following seeing how ground truths change over time. I mean, this character probably was produced, for sure, made it into dictionary 2,000 years ago's dictionary. And we can be assured that the concept started way before then. 5,000 years ago, maybe. Back then, people already, through this character, gave us, the language user, kind of a gold nuggets of our cognition. We have to observe the ground truth, first-hand information, unblock the views, eyeball something, and observe not just one snapshot, because you can be deceived. You have to see how these things change over time. So that actually give you, again, four-dimensional thing, right? Observe something, ground truth, things how emerge and evolve over time. That's four-dimensional. And then, according to what you see, then make the judgment, make the call, do accordingly. This two legs symbolizing doing. And that's the definition of real. Get real simply as do what you see, as how things change over time. So it teaches you adaptability. I mean, that's fitness, survival of the fittest, right? It's like adapt to what's happening and then do it accordingly. All right, a few examples. 真假难辨, 真 real, 假 the antonym, fake. So what's real, what's not real? 难辨, difficult to separate apart. So here is almost like a knife cutting something into two pieces. We use that to mean discerning. You can separate, kind of a classification. One of the classical AI or machine learning task is classification, right? Is it real or true or false, basically? So true or false. So in this context, 真假难辨 is to tell true from false. And 难, simply say, is hard to tell. And of course, 真假难辨, because we have such a complicated life, right? I work with data all the time, so a lot of time is 真假难辨. You cannot tell just by the data you gather, and you can almost try to be aware of the assumptions over there. And when you try to come to a conclusion and be aware that that's simply a model or observation, how you think things work. But when you get new data, you absolutely need to update the conclusion before. Oftentimes, this 真假难辨. It's hard to tell which way, right? 真假难辨. And we have another 假 and 真 in another expression. 假戏真做. Oftentimes describe the phenomenon of actors. When they play, when they fake, 戏 is kind of play or acting. So fake acting. 真做, real doing. Okay, fake acting, real doing. Almost means like at the beginning you just fake it, right? Until you make it. That's the mentality. However, while you're faking it, you're really in it. So almost like you try, bear with me a simple plot, like you try to fake you love somebody, get the trust of somebody, and eventually you get to know that person, and you're really for that person, you fall in love. When the intention on the get-go, you just want to fake it. So that's kind of 假戏真做. Another one would be acting, right? Who is it? Brad Pitt and I forgot that other big star when they do this Mr. Mrs. Smith, and so they were acting, and then they end up getting real. So get before camera and off camera life extent, like whatever they fake before the camera, this acting carried into real life. So that's 假戏真做. Okay, 较真. 较真 is a Chinese, again, very wise capturing of this life's phenomenon of somebody try to stand like try to defend their observation and insisting what they are seeing as the real, the truth. They are the ultimate truth maker, let's say, and 较真 as comparing your truth versus my truth and getting defensive and trying to win the argument, so to say, and in doing so harm the relationship. So it's almost like people who didn't really put in context of you and others' relations, or, of course, what is truth? It's relative truth, like based on what you observe, right? Even if with your own eyeballs, seeing something over time, even so, things can still change and emerge and deviate from what you thought would be the truth, right? And so when you want to compare your truth against other people's truth, and you just want to win, and that's a very big turn off for many, many people. So people who 较真, yes, you're seeking the truth, but overkilling it could harm relationship, could harm long-term truth even. So 较真 is this Chinese capturing of the phenomenon that you're kind of too hung on your version of truth. And 真, of course, real. This is such an abstract concept. It's hard to express it, to find something in nature to mimic that. And Chinese were able to, in this 2D frame, create what is truth. It's quite complicated, right? It's what is real. And I can only find such kind of slogan saying, but I'm glad to share with you what's Chinese conceptualization of what real is about. 真, thank you for your time. See you another day.